Thank you.
I cannot
Yeah,
imagine, coding at this point of my experience. Really, hats off to you, So, how many interviews did you had, appeared for before you landed your, first transformation job?
Hello, guys. Welcome to our podcast, Tech Career 2.0. As promised, we have our first guest tonight. So, Mohit, please introduce our guest to the listeners.
Sure, buddy. Today, we have the privilege of speaking with an individual who has not only been a former colleague of mine, but also a constant source of inspiration to me. Hey, Mithun, it's great to have you on the show today. Please take a moment and introduce yourself to the listeners.
Hi everyone, and thank you very much, Mohit and Ankit. Hi guys, I am Mithun. I have 15 years of experience in this telco IT domain. So, as Mohit said, that I transformed my career from the telco part to the IT part. That's true. That's been started from 2019. If you think yourself that yes, I can make it, I can do it, that is to be the journey, then yes, you definitely can make it.
That's interesting. So I call Mithun as Dada, because he is my former colleague. So I will just term him as Dada only. So Dada, tell me, what was the first inspiration, when you transformed your career from telco to IT?
Yeah, there is actually in career path, there is two parts. One is the vertical growth, another is the horizontal growth. So if you at some point, if you found that your vertical growth is not moving, or if you have nothing to learn in your last 6 months or last 3 months, and you are not enjoying your journey much, then definitely you need to look around what is going around, and you need to find out the solution that how you move. Because whenever you discuss with your peer or with your seniors that how to go and how to switch the terms, how to switch the field, then you will get the positive and the negative thing. So most probably that's at our age after 10 years of experience, and whenever you started your initial family, so in that area you always been very much fragile or being less confident to switch your career into the new domain or that unknown domain, I can say. So that started from 2019 when all of my colleagues they're doing that AWS solution architect associate. So I found that then I started to study that what to do. I just opened that account with AWS and I get some token. I put some token and get that Udemy course. Then I found that the telecom is going towards a virtual RAN that time. Rakuten was the player. Some of the colleagues is getting interviewed there, and they also get some chance to flourish themselves over the virtual RAN domain. So I had two directions. One is to stuck with that RAN part only, to do with the testing or that operation part that we are doing in everyday life. Another part is the new adventure, that is that how the RAN could be mapped with the cloud part. So so I found out that the OpenStack is such a part as because the telco they have their own server and their own infrastructure. So they want to go with their own infrastructure and adding some stuff. So like the OpenStack is such a part that you can use your own infrastructure as a private cloud. So I started with that OpenStack. I put myself 3 months there, and then I found out that OpenStack is. I learned more about that Linux in some area, then some part from that Dockerization part, and yes, I completed that OpenStack as well with the help of one teacher. And then after I started giving that interview in India, you have a simple thing. Means if you try it for 3 months, most probably you can land 3 jobs at a time. So that is the thumb rule at that time. So I went through that time, and yes, I landed the 3 job. One is in. So the main thing is that the transformation is come when you started to believe one thing.
Yeah. So how many interviews did you had, appeared for before you landed your, first transformation job?
Okay. Honestly speaking, I've just 3 months. I connected almost 500 plus connection in 3 months. I reached each and every of the HR person or the director from the different organization. I connected them that time, and I started my journey from there because I don't have any idea that's who were doing what. So whenever you started this way, you come to know that whenever you connected someone, you know that what is going on their industry, right? You used to put something over the LinkedIn. So LinkedIn was my first friend that time, and the second friend is Naukri. So yes, I've given around I can say, I don't know lie, it's around 15 interviews I've given them. They don't have the clarity about your profile, right? Everyone is also transforming their path from this IT services to the telco services. So their path was not clear, and my profile is just started to converting. I'm from Kolkata. There's no much, not much that techie there, right? Like the
Yep.
Bangalore or the Delhi or the Mumbai. And in the telecom domain, is not no one experienced such. And whoever in the cloud in the last 3 4 years, those are most probably from that core part.
Yeah,
Just because
I think
that part
it's a big
is
jump from
easy.
RAN to IT because it's not related,
Uh,
in technology
this is not
perspective.
related.
Just a question, and Ankit, we also talked about this in our previous video, that if you're talking to your peers or your managers, you don't get that insight for where you have to transform your career, for where you have to look for the new opportunities. And do you think when you are talking to your own, I would say, circle, you don't get that knowledge that you might be looking, or maybe there are certain opportunities which lies apart from that your close circle that you have. For example, you mentioned that you reached out to many people on LinkedIn. Was there any
Yes.
incident or any instance where you probably got insight of any opportunity through LinkedIn, which you would have thought I would haven't got it if I would be talking, or maybe some inspiration, or maybe some additional input that somebody had provided for your path to take in future, right?
Okay, and so whenever I started connecting the people from the different industry, I come across many people from Tech Mahindra, from Rakuten, from Altiostar, and they're putting the new kind of stuff that with this, right, that VRAN kind of stuff, what would be the architecture there. So I started to ping them abruptly that what is the scenario, how you are doing it. So if someone is open, they're going to give me some of the changes, like some of the clue that you can follow this, you can go
Yeah,
with this,
a
right?
small hint,
So
right? That
there's a
hint can
small hint,
help
yes,
you,
yes, to explore more,
yeah.
right? So in that way, few people help me definitely. I ask them, and that they help me with 2 3 links, and just going through that, I get that knowledge. Means you are getting that knowledge and you can implement it, right? So that's the experience. That's where the experiences come up, right? But whenever I was learning for 3 months over the OpenStack, how we can map all those OpenStack part with the real world, right? That would be another thing. You need to correlate, otherwise you cannot motivate itself. You cannot answer them, right? Because they want to know that interview always want to know that what your experience, what you individually did, right? So that's why I try to map each and every part with this OpenStack part, means how that image is forming, how that image is mapping with this stuff, and how that CPU or the RAM or that NIC is
So I
coming.
think the gist is that you have to reach out for help, right? As I mean, yeah, people are open for support. You just need to reach out to them. You might get around some, I would say, rejection from someone, but if you reach out to 10 people, then probably five would probably help you, right?
Yes, definitely.
So
The world
is
is very
there,
much open now.
yeah,
Yes.
is there any resource available on the internet where you can get the idea of the real world problems for the new technology? Like you move to OpenStack, there's a lot of lot of material for tech related things, like the books and the online material, YouTubes and the Udemy uh, courses. But is there anything which is related to the industry, what's actually the practical things, like the projects or something? Is there something which is available on the internet?
I think that's one of the gap, and probably Mithun would know because he would have been
Okay.
looking for the same thing, right? There is a big gap in this part, I would say. But Mithun, what's your
Okay.
thought on it? Let's.
There is two things. One thing is the theory part, right? Means if you get the theoretical knowledge, then you try to implement it. So for theoretical parts, our best run is start with that YouTube, right? Because
Yep.
everything is there in YouTube. Every keyword is there. And the second thing is that open source, means if you're looking into something, then how you get it. So definitely that part is quite hard. Hard is because you need to search that right resource. Okay, so that I learned in my path that there is 5 options there. You can choose that whatever kind you want to it, but the thing is that only one thing you can go and you can move with it.
Yeah,
So
that's the point, right? Because there's a lot of gap in actual implementation and the correct resources. You are right.
yes,
In open source, there is little documentation. One of them would be right, but rest of them would not work because of some dependency issues. But I think similarly, if you try to implement any of the project, you will see there is a gap of documentation, I would
yeah.
say. Yeah.
Yes. So first thing is that you need to reach the group. You need to reach the group over that LinkedIn. So you can get that the challenges you are facing, there is any solution is there or not. So
Okay.
if you're able to connect them, then they can suggest you easily, right? Because if you put some mail over the group, you need to wait for 7-10 days to check that if anything is coming or not. So what was trying to connect over LinkedIn and try to
So
reach
just a
them.
question, Mithun.
That's
I
yes.
think with the conversation that I have with you now is that LinkedIn has been your one of the go-to tool to talk to people, to reach out and get their
Yes.
inputs, right? And I think
Yes.
that has probably helped you a lot in this transformation, as well as
Yes.
in your day-to-day job when you have transformed to get to the right resources, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there are a couple of missing, most of people whom I talk to, who are trying to change their career or transform their career, they don't, take LinkedIn seriously, and they don't know how powerful LinkedIn can be, right?
Yeah, including myself. Like I never thought of LinkedIn to be a tool where I can get the
Professional help,
professional help. I just thought like in LinkedIn, like just for the
job,
connection,
and
just for the job switch and those things. I never thought from that perspective that we can develop the skills as well from the LinkedIn company. Yeah.
yeah.
No, LinkedIn is definitely good because if you have connection and they are doing something, they used to put something over the LinkedIn. When the every organization following whatever they're trying to do or whatever they achieve, they used to put some stuff over LinkedIn. So if you get that connection and what the challenges they face and what your challenges you are facing, when you try to communicate with them, you can get one solution.
Yeah.
Maybe out of 10 solutions, that solution can work.
I think that this is a great point, and I think I would recommend this to viewers as well. That if you're trying to, uh, transform your career, or probably if you're stuck in any professional issue or anything, reach out to people, because people would be ready to provide you some sort of support. If it's related to some internal company policies, still they might be able to point out to the right technology, or you can say the right process, whichever is available in the public domain. So I think, Mithun, one more question I have. You were talking about the transformation, right? Uh,
Yeah.
how I would say satisfied are you with your transformation, and when you look back on all the efforts that you have done, all you can say incidents that have occurred in your past, what do you think about in the current position that you are in right now?
Okay. I can say there is nothing is failure. Failure is nothing else because you are putting such effort, you are getting some knowledge. So knowledge is such a beautiful stuff. It's not getting worse, right? So maybe you can get some wrong stuff, maybe you can get some wrong knowledge, but whenever you try to repeat it, whenever you search for different stuff, or whenever you get some situation, it will get the right knowledge and you can apply the right knowledge in practical stuff, right? So I cannot say that the transformation journey is a failure. It's definitely a successful stuff from my point of view. You just need to keep it motivated that I'm learning something new. That's it. Not today, maybe tomorrow. I'm learning something new. And one more thing is that nothing is so much tough. Everyone, I worked in the development project. That's I did not work in my previous year or previous year of experience. So I started the development whenever I was 13.5 years of experience. So, so it was a bit challenging. So my colleagues used to told me that, oh, Mithun, you don't know this? Oh no, I don't know this, but I will learn and will come to you. Give me 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So I used to learn that video, get some knowledge, and then I asked that proper question. What would be the proper question for that solution?
Okay.
So it's like that's why that yes, age is no bar, and there is no end of learning. So you need to learn, and that's it.
I cannot
Like some
imagine, coding at this point of my experience. I mean, hats off to you, you know.
But that's what our aim is, right?
Correct,
So
correct.
the
You
things
should
which
not.
the things where we think that is almost impossible and where we give up, but there are success stories where people haven't give up. They have just hold on tight. They have just kept on learning so that they would reach their end goal,
Yeah.
which in this case, like Mithun, after so much of effort and is finally attained where he wanted to be, and looks like he's enjoying his
Yeah.
with all the challenges he's facing, he's still and he's enjoying those challenges. And
Just for our viewers, you know, can you tell me how many companies you have changed?
Okay, so now I started with Ericsson in 2007, then it's with Pro outsourced, then again Ericsson India. I was there for 9 years. Then Tech Mahindra for 1 year. The Starlight, I was happy in Starlight. I get some faith over there, but the organization wasn't moving in certain direction. Even these days, they sold their unit.
Okay.
So I moved out from there. I joined Infosys and then Amazon.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
you're currently with AWS.
Yes, AWS ProServe team. I'm happy with the team, and if there is something good stuff, they definitely will post whenever we get some success. We'll post over the LinkedIn definitely.
Sure.
And here that culture is, they used to say this is peculiar culture. It's a great culture actually. And my immediate manager or their boss, all are from that IIT staff.
Oh.
I never worked with that IIT people. So yes, they are very rich with technologies, very rich with their knowledge. They're very clear. So I'm enjoying it.
Sounds like you are having some good time with the current organization.
One question I had, like in general, what I wanted to ask was not related to any technology or something. So generally, like every individual has some of his strengths, right? Which he's good at it. And there are some things which everyone is not that good at it, but obviously still need those skills in the industry, right? So yeah, that's something which I have never been able to find an answer, like what should be one our individual's right approach. Should he just keep his playing in his skills, like which is strong skills, or should he sometime go towards where he has some challenges, where there are some weak points which is not good at it, and then try to improve in that area and take that risk and go towards that so that he can grow overall? Or should he just play safe and where his right skills are, or should he go broad and develop himself in those weak points as well? Did you had any experience like where you thought probably, nah, this is not something I am good at it, but then you so is there any something experience you had?
Yeah, yes. I can say very clearly that I'm not good with the Python.
Okay.
I'm not good at the Python coding. That's give me much pain there. But yes, whenever I did a one-page coding with some for loop, I got, oh, Mithun, you can do it right now. So it's like that means it's not come in a single day. Okay, there should be some pain, but you need to be very humble. You need to be very humble with your surrounding people, as because not even you are learning, because in everywhere, whenever I mean, everyone faces that kind of colleagues in this tech industry, right? So just only one suggestion to everyone including me, one suggestion that be humble to everyone. Okay, so you can try to help some other with some different point of view, not with the technology. Maybe you can give me some suggestion that can help you out. In every point in our life, we get some help from some other guy where they transform your career with a single word or with a single sentence. So be humble with everyone. You can get good suggestion and you can share good suggestion with others. And by God grace, you will definitely grow.
Great. So, Mithun, just before we conclude this session, is there? I would request you to give our viewers top three, I would say, advice that you think has helped you, and if they follow these advice, that will help them as well in transforming their journey. So, what are your top three I would say, key points on your journey or in your experience that has really helped you, reach where you are right now?
Okay, so first thing is the learning. We need to look around the what is the buzzword is going on. So even today itself, if I found some buzzword is like that, what would be that Cassandra DB is doing. So I need to search over that YouTube that well how the Cassandra DB is working, what would be the basic command, right stuff. So learning is the first thing, and don't go with that. The second thing is there should be some positive and the negative stuff. Just remove all those negative stuff that you are not getting the job or the other one is not getting the job or acquiring some skill. Forget it. If you learn something, they will definitely encash in some other way. Definitely not with that product, but maybe some other way. Third thing is that money is the byproduct. Don't go for that money. Just focus on what you were doing and how you can achieve more. Just focus on that area. So money is a byproduct, it will come automatically. So
Great.
that is the trick.
Great. Thanks for joining the interview, Mithun. Just before you leave, I think we wanted to ask you if you are open for anyone reaching out to you for a mentor support.
Yeah, definitely. I'm open to all, and yeah, definitely. If someone reach to me, I will definitely guide them.
All right.
Thanks, Mithun. Thanks for your time. So pleasure talking to you, and you really shared a lot of insights where it will be really helpful for our viewers to achieve the success in what I would say in a optimized time.
Yep.
And where right now, like we can see in the industry there, like we have a lot of new technology coming up, and earlier the technology transformation, like new technology coming in, used to take generation or decade. Right now it just takes
couple of
years or months, right? So
Right.
probably like some of the roles which something came up like AWS architect or cybersecurity role, right, which are now the buzzwords, right? And so these ones people are trying to learn, but a lot of people are not getting that success. They are because of the lack of the practical knowledge, and the insights which you shared today on the podcast will be really helpful for the viewers. Thanks
for joining in. And to our viewers, so this was Mithun, and he shared his journey on his transformation. And if you want to reach out to us or Mithun, I have provided the details in the description box. Thank you.
Before we sign off, we just want to say a big thank you for joining us tonight. This is your podcast, and we are looking forward for your support and feedback. If you have any thoughts, suggestions, or questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are always here for you and see you as part of our community. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back soon with our next guest. Till then,